Certainly a learning lesson for all the officers that were there that day, but because this wasn't on the radar, there weren't any behaviors that were exhibited to law enforcement or to mental health professionals. I don't know that there's fault to find anywhere. It's regrettable that it occurred. We didn't want it to happen. I can't see where we're taking anything away where we could have done something differently in this case. The communication was difficult. As the district attorney said, Sergeant Nicky was about 100 yards away, and so he could get his message across, but in getting that message back from what was said was difficult to hear. And there was nothing that was presented to the officers or Sergeant Nicky that would have been useful. Asking if someone's a sniper, you can't work with that.
Sergeant Matt Nicky is the trooper who fired the shot in this case. He was clearly and unequivocally justified in his use of deadly force because Sergeant Nicky reasonably believed that such force was necessary to prevent death or personal injury to another. We had no warning here, and I think that's important to realize. We had never known Mr. Leopold. By we I mean law enforcement, never had any prior contact with him. We had received no reports of threats he had made or anything else. So we need to keep that in perspective when we're looking at what happened here. This isn't a situation where we can say this, the law enforcement system failed. He really was not on our radar whatsoever. In essence, Sergeant Nicky shot the gunman in order to save the correctional officers who were present in the lobby of the Adams County Adult Correctional Facility 30 yards from where the gunman was aiming. Sergeant Nicky is a decorated member of the Pennsylvania State Police. He's been with them for 13 years. He holds the rank of sergeant. He's a supervisor here at the Gettysburg Barracks. On April 9th, he was the ranking officer in charge at the scene. And he was the individual who actually had control of the scene itself. The gunman threatened a female correctional officer inside the lobby. He had a Glock handgun, loaded Glock handgun. He pointed it at her and specifically pointed it directly at her chest. She did have a badge on her chest. He also made comments to her at that time concerning her status as a law enforcement officer. He then went outside. He possessed an assault rifle. He fired a total of 10 rounds from that assault rifle while he was outside the front of the prison itself. That was witnessed by both correctional officers and troopers from the Pennsylvania State Police. The gunman refused the commands of both Sergeant Nicky and other Pennsylvania State Police troopers for approximately 30 minutes. On numerous occasions, they ordered him to get down on the ground. They ordered him to put the assault rifle down. He refused to respond to those orders. During these 30 minutes, the gunman continually taunted and mocked the Pennsylvania State Police when they were making these requests. At one point, he walked towards a state trooper. He had the gun at his side. He asked the state trooper if he was a sniper, and he told the state trooper to take the shot. After approximately 30 minutes, Sergeant Nicky observed the gunman face the front of the prison, approximately 30 yards away. He put the rifle up to his shoulder. He had his finger on the trigger of the rifle. He aimed that rifle directly at the lobby of the prison itself. At that point, correctional officers inside the prison, and there were 3 of them that were in the lobby, immediately took cover. One of them provided a statement that he had to jump out of the way when he saw the rifle. He saw the gunman pointing the rifle directly at his direction. Clearly, Sergeant Nicky's actions were justified. The gunman's actions were corroborated by no less than 5 Pennsylvania State Police troopers who were eyewitnesses, as well as the 3 correctional officers who were in the lobby. During the course of the investigation, the Pennsylvania State Police has also reviewed, as well as the DA, we've reviewed all of the video from the prison. There was also a lay witness who was in the parking lot during this incident who took a video. We have a copy of that, and we reviewed all that video, which corroborates that Sergeant Nicky's actions were justified.